July 13th, 2024. We are here at L.O.V.E Farmstay at our off-grid vegan experience in L.O.V.E. Admittedly, it's not for everyone. We've been here for a while now. More than a couple months. Still in the first year. But, so we got to Portugal in... I'm going to take some of this gray water over to the bananas because they love any extra water. We got here to Portugal, I think for the first time, to check it out in January. So we were looking at the rainy season and laughing to ourselves about, okay, if this is what they consider to be winter, then coming from Canada, I think we can be safe and know that we're not going to have anything like what we're used to as a winter here in Portugal. So, a little update for you guys, whoever is following. 3 generations of bananas. You can see the one that we purchased, the one that was a sprout when we purchased it, and then the sprout. So 3 generations of banana right there. It's pretty wild. I was planting, I was putting some compost around the root of these trees, and I noticed that the compost sprouted. So they could be anything: melons, watermelons, could be squash. Some are tomatoes. So the idea was just to have some greeny leaf ground cover. So it's working, and I don't know what it all is. This is our nursery, aka the disco light nursery. Disco light because you can see how the light is being cast down on the ground here. These are my 2 strongest tamarins that I populated or germinated from seed. There's another 2 that we donated from our farm stay to another resort that's near here. Who knew that we bought a property in the hippie spiritual area of the Algarve? We didn't know, but it turns out that that's the case. This is my weakest so far. My weakest tamarin. I don't know what we're going to do with this guy. I don't know if he's going to make it. I think I up-potted him, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just let him go. But even when he was growing, he was kind of like awkward. So I'm not sure if he's even alive, to be honest. He might have given up the ghost. Yeah, and the Nespera is weird. It was setting up another shoot here. This is the only Nespera that made it from seed. He was setting up a secondary hand. The first one looked like it was dying out. So the Nespera doesn't look like it's making it. All the apples that we planted, these are all apples. Apple tree, apple tree, apple tree, apple tree. There's 3 or 4 there. They all seem to be doing good. And these are all oranges from seed. And the oranges are local from up the road a bit. So there's no reason why those wouldn't grow here. If anything, we're giving them too much water. We planted 7 dwarfs. We call them the 7 dwarfs. And you can see here, I've talked about the direct sunlight in Portugal before, but we are at the high noon part of the day where the sun is directly over my head. And the go-to weather here is clear skies, clear blue skies. Occasionally you see chemtrails. I think that the chemtrails are a little bit less during the tourist season, and then they might go back to regular chemtrailing when everybody's gone. I'm not sure. But it is something that is definitely noticeable here. Because the go-to weather is this, and so obviously planes are flying through the sky on days like this, but then other days you see lines all through the sky. So Baba Longo is right there, and then there's Kevin. You can see the same ground cover that I did put in compost, and I don't regret it because I think that's a good idea for ground cover around the the tree trunk or the root. But we'll see, you know, whether are those gonna fruit, are they not gonna fruit? So basically this is so far the Disco Light Nursery area is the shadiest spot until these banana palms grow up in a circle, or until we add some more shade. The hot part of the day is definitely hot. We have a variety of different water that we're using, as you guys know. This is river water. I just dropped off some gray water. It's a laundry day today, so we always wind up with lots and lots of gray water, which is good for the bananas, as I said at the beginning of the video. So something that we're making sure to do now is stock up on river water as we can, because your rivers aren't going to be flowing here forever. A lot of the rivers that go east to west in the Algarve are controlled by dams in further north locations, and it's kind of a weird topic, but the whoever controls the dams basically allows the flow further south of the dam when they feel like it. I'm not sure if they do it. They opened up a dam on July 1st for sure, and all of a sudden, a river that was dry was now overflowing and people were swimming in it. And now it's starting to dry out again because the floor of the river is porous with rocks. So we collected as much as we could. I knew what was happening, and luckily we know where other rivers are. There's probably about 4 or 5 different rivers that we know of, and spots to go at on different rivers to get river water. So when the day cools down in the evening after sunset, I'll water these guys with some gray water. We'll probably relocate some plants today. I'll tell you why. I had an idea to plant some orange trees or mandarin trees at the stump of this dead carob tree that's, shooting out new life. And it was good intentions, but what's happening is there's a group of ants that climb up and basically eat everything because they're hard pressed to find water. And I think it's probably the same ants that destroyed this carob tree from the inside out. So I think that there's still life in this one and the other one over here. We just have to relocate them. So you can see it's pushing out new leaves, but then the top ones are getting eaten, and the buds, everything is just getting eaten. It's kind of a tragedy since our other oranges on the property are doing so well. So we might relocate those 2 mandarin trees somewhere else. We have a lot of property, a lot of places to put a tree. I'm thinking maybe over there somewhere. We tend to hang out in 2 areas, basically up where the tiny home is and down here and near the bananas. We hang out in these 2 or 3 areas most of the time, so we like to have all the fruit and whatnot around us. But we might have to move those guys somewhere else. That's your update for today at L.O.V.E Farmstay. You guys take care of yourself. Have a great day. I am Sir Bungholio signing off.